I'm excited about the opportunity to really answer questions. When we posted a little bit of piece of the thing on Instagram for everybody that's watching and following, and like we're getting rapidly close to what is it, 32,000 followers, 33,000 followers? We're on our way. And whoever is our 32,000th follower gets a free hand clap. Anyway, so we want you to join, let people know, here we're going. Somebody asked a question when we posted a little bit of a clip of it, some of what happened last week. Somebody asked a question about submission. And so here's my submission answer, and we'll just kind of begin the Q&A with me kind of talking about submission. There's two types of power in the world. There's authority and there's influence. They're both powerful. Who has more power? The senator that has the authority to actually vote, or the aides and the assistants that are around him that explain to him the issues? I went up to Washington, D.C. one time to meet with my congressman. You know who I really met with? I met with all of his aides. I met with all the people that advise him. Although he's the one that has the power to make the decisions, the people around whom will influence him, they also have power too. They're both power. Sometimes we only think of power just from authority, but that's not really the case. Influential power is a great amount of power. Initially, as a parent, when you are raising your children, your power over them is an authority. Brush your teeth because I said so. Go to bed because I said so, because you live in my house. And if I have responsibility, then I have authority. As your children grow and as they mature and as they become teenagers and eventually young adults, especially once they get out of your house, they are no longer under your authority. Now your power is more influential. And if you still speak to them in an authoritarian type of way, if you have parents and you're watching and they have an authoritative or an authoritarian attitude with you, then you won't really have that much of a relationship with them because they're not really in an authoritative position. Their position is now influential. It's not that it's not powerful. It's still powerful, but it's not authority. Sometimes we are so confident in the power of authority that we lack confidence in the power of influence. And the truth of the matter is that they are both power. With that in mind, honestly, submission happens when people do not agree. If we agree, and the aim, I really do think it was a relationship question. And so if you're in a marriage right now, ultimately, the ultimate aim is really to agree, because agreement is a place of power. And if there are constant conversations about submission, then that is a sign of some serious disagreement. And if your house is divided against itself, it will not stand. As much as I'm a pastor, a leader, and starting to do some apostolic ministry, have a fellowship, pastors are joining and a part of it. And sure, I guess guys are being required or asked to submit to my authority as their leader. And I get that. But the truth of the matter is that the reason why I share, the reason why I stand in the pulpit and preach, the reason why I'm doing this and answering these questions and determine to know the word and study and to carry myself in a certain way is so that you can agree with me, because agreement is going to be much more powerful than you just submitting to my authority as the leader. I'm in charge and you should just submit. I mean, that will go for a minute, but can two walk together unless they be agreed to do so? It's a rhetorical question. The answer really is no. And if you have a husband, he shouldn't be saying submission to you all the time. Honestly, you ought to agree. He shouldn't have to feel like he has to pull rank. He shouldn't have to feel like he has to take out his husband badge. He shouldn't have to quote scripture and say, well, the Bible says. That's really not something that should have to happen. The truth of the matter is that you all ought to be able to agree with one another. Submission happens when you don't agree. And so the aim really is agreement. It doesn't mean that submission does not have its place, but really the aim is to agree with one another. And you ought to be talking and sharing and communicating with one another so that you can make sure that you agree. Even when it comes to submission, sometimes we almost keep it up like, oh, the wife is supposed to submit to the husband, and she is. But the truth of the matter is that both of you are submitted to God. and you're supposed to submit to each other and to the Lord. And I've even said to guys, if you're smart, then you'll get a woman that has some strengths in areas where you have weaknesses. And if you find a really good, strong woman, then the smart thing to do is to just put her in charge of some things that she's gifted in. And so now in that situation, although technically you are the head and you are the husband and you are the Christ, the head of the family, and as Christ of the church, and that is true, and you do have that responsibility, and that is true. But if you're smart, then you will put your wife in charge of some things that she's just really good at. And now, in a way, you're kind of submitted to her perspective because she's smart. My wife and I made a decision. Although I am the man of my house. I'm not afraid of my wife. She's not necessarily afraid of me either, but I'm not afraid of her. I am the man of my house. I am an authority. I am the leader, sure. Okay, no doubt about it. But my wife and I sat down years ago, 20 years ago, had a no joke sit down conversation about a division of the responsibilities and a division of the roles and the jobs. There were things that we decided that she was going to be in charge of. We came to that conclusion, agreement together, that she was going to be in charge of some things. She's a detail person. So when it came to stuff like our personal finances, the money, the bills getting paid, that kind of stuff, it just went better when she was in charge of it. And so in a sense, she now was in that seat, in that driver's seat of really being really responsible. You know, if the water gets cut off, I'm going to call her. I'm holding her responsible. Hey, what the heck's going on? Even though we're both working, even though I'm the one making most of the money, and it wasn't always that way, but still, our role in our relationship, her role is she's in charge of the finances. She's in charge of those kids. Now they're my children, they're my sons, they're my daughters. I love them, but honestly, she has been responsible, and therefore she has authority, because responsibility and authority go together. So I'm going to hold her responsible for how well they read. Then I have to give her the authority to make the decisions about where they're going to learn to read. It's only fair. It's not fair for her to have responsibility and not have authority. There's one particular story that I tell that's apropos to this way of thought, and I'll kind of share this, and I'll shut up and answer other questions because we only have an hour. But there was a period of time where the home we were living in, the boys were in this one particular elementary school, and thank you. The boys were in this one particular elementary school, and what happened is that the district built a new school, and so now the boys' school was changing. And so even the boys were like in the second grade, and they contacted us, and they basically were like, yep, it's a new school. It's brand new. And so now you can leave your kids in the school that they've been in, or you can move them to the new school that's now for the district. Here's the thing. If you leave them in the school they're in, they won't be able to take the bus anymore. For now, the bus for your district is going to be this new side, this new school, Creekside, or whatever the heck it was called. That's going to be if they're going to ride on the bus, then they're going to have to go to the new school. So now my wife's trying to decide what she's going to do. She's going to leave them in the school, the elementary school that our daughter went to, the elementary school that she's used to. She knows all the teachers. She knows the principals. She's all up in there. She's all involved. She going to leave them there, or she going to put them in the new school, brand new school? She came to me to ask my advice, my counsel, because we made a decision a long time ago. She's in charge. She's responsible. Okay, she wanted to know what I thought. What I thought was put them little dudes in the new school, okay? Let them take the bus. They're only in the second grade. They're going to be all right. They won't surely die. Instead, their eyes will be open. They'll meet new people. As a matter of fact, some of the people that are in the district now that got to go to the new school are also going to be at the new school. So they're going to meet new people. They will be all right. They'll be able to get on the bus. They'll be able to get off the bus. They can walk their little happy behinds up to the bus stop, get on the bus, and at the end of the day, get off the bus, walk down here, and come into the house. Sounds good to me. She said, thank you very much. She took what I said under consideration. She decided she felt more comfortable with the old school. She felt good about the last school. She was going to leave them at that last school. And I said, okay. I didn't pull rank and say, no, I'm the head. No, we decided that she was going to be making the decisions about what was going to happen with them when it came to school. And I had given my advice or my counsel. I tried my influential power to get her to see sense. No, I tried to get her to see it my way. She didn't see it. We had decided a while ago that she was going to make the decision. She made the decision to keep them at that same school. And that's what happened. And they went there and got their smart boys and educated, blah, blah, blah. Now, I will say this. I said to her, okay, I hear you. I feel you. Here's the thing. If you're going to leave them at that old school and they can't take the bus, don't ask me to pick them up. Don't ask me to pick them up. Now, I'll pick them up if I can. If I'm free and I'm like, oh, I'm in the area, hey, I'll grab them, then I'll grab them. I'll pick them up. Don't wake me up asking me to drop them off in the morning when they could have took the bus if you put them in the new school. You gonna drive them? Then you're gonna drive them. You're gonna pick them up? You're gonna pick them up. You want the authority? You're gonna have the responsibility. Because I just put them in the new school and they can take the bus. You can't have one without the other. You cannot have responsibility and not have authority. You cannot have authority and not have responsibility. I've said this to some women who got deadbeat dads or that got a baby's father who don't give no money and blah, blah, blah. I'm taking him to court. I'm getting ready to get him to pay some child support. You know what, boo-boo? I hear you. Knock yourself out. Here's the only thing. You have to understand that authority and responsibility go together. If you give him responsibility, then he's going to have some authority. If all of a sudden he wants to roll in and start making decisions about what's going to happen with the kid or where the kid's going to school or I want to see the kid more. If he's a knucklehead and he decides, yeah, I want that kid to come spend every weekend with me and I'm going to take him to the strip club. Because you gave him responsibility, you have given him authority. If you didn't want him to have no authority, then you shouldn't have had him have any responsibility. Maybe the reason why he's deadbeat and not trying to take responsibility is because God is trying to free you from his authority. And instead of being so much about the money, maybe you ought to be glad that this knucklehead is not going to be able to corrupt your child with his craziness. I'm not saying he shouldn't pay, but you cannot have authority and not have responsibility, and you cannot have responsibility and not have authority. And by giving him responsibility, you gave him authority. They go together. I know I've gone all the way around the yard and back and picked up the dog, but the truth of the matter is that it's all connected. And I know that we get nervous when somebody says submission. Our butt cheeks tighten up when somebody says submission, but submission is a powerful thing. You have to submit to God. I think a part of the person's question was, how can I submit to this dude when he's not submitted to God? Girl, feel you. I hear you. You're going to have to put your hope and your trust and your faith in God and not give way to fear. And if you married him and you were saved or serious about the Lord and he was not, then that should have been in your thought process before you ever married him. If you married him and you were both heathens and now you've gotten saved and now you're struggling with submitting to somebody that's not submitted to the Lord, I get that. But the word says that if the unbeliever wants to stay with you, then you need to stay. Anyway, so I think that's a good question. I think that's a good discussion, and I think it covers a lot of different bases. And but it primarily happens when you don't agree.
All right. So first question is, second question, what is the best advice you can give to someone who has a heart for marriage?
I mean, I guess a heart for marriage, I think that's an interesting kind of idea because I think I have a heart for marriage. I'm trying to fight for marriage. A part of the reason why I've done the real love stuff, done the more sex in the summer, done the more sex now. So we did the most recent one is, especially here at World Overcomers, but it's also part of my ministry, Andy Thompson, is that we're trying to bring marriage back. We're trying to make marriage the thing to do. And we're trying to say, years and years and years ago, Chris Rock said something, you're either married and bored or single and lonely. And I'm just like, the devil's a liar. You should not be single and lonely, and you should not be married and bored. I'm married, I am not bored. And so I do have a heart for marriage. I am trying to save marriage. For myself, I am particularly aware of the plight of marriage within the African American community since I am a black man. It doesn't mean that I'm not thinking about white marriages. It doesn't mean I'm not thinking about Hispanic marriages. It doesn't mean I'm not thinking about Asian marriages. I am. The reason why I'm thinking as much as I am about African American marriages is, number one, because I'm black, and number two, because black people do marriage worse than every other ethnic group, especially in America. The reason why the divorce number is as high as it is because of black people. And so I have a particular heart for black people, particularly African American women, and their plight to find someone and to be found. And so I have a heart for marriage. I think the flip side of it, that I don't really think is the question, Morgan, but I think was a part of it. But it's the flip side of it is that I think that as a guy, one of the things that I recommend to guys, and I say to guys, and I'd be willing to bet $1 million there's way more women watching this right now today than guys are. But dudes, if you're watching, like, I don't know, send us a clap or something to let us know. No, there are dudes on here. And dude, ask a question. Don't just let women ask all the questions. We'd love to hear some questions from some dudes. But one of the words of advice and counsel that I give to guys is that you have to be careful that you don't end up in a relationship with a woman who loves the idea of marriage more than she loves you. There was a time when, in a sense, a woman was kind of the completion of a picture of a guy's portfolio to some extent. It was like, yeah, I went to school, I got the right kind of job, I got the right money, I got the right house with the picket fence. Now I'm looking for this wife that's almost kind of like a trophy wife kind of a person to kind of complete my picture. That was kind of a man's thinking. The craziest thing in the world right now is that, in a way, that's not, guys don't really think that way. It's women who are thinking that way. And women are looking at finding a guy as a completion of that picture. And it's almost like they have an image in their mind of them in a wedding dress standing next to some guy. And they may not know who that guy is. So I totally get it. But you just have to be careful that they're not more in love with that picture than they're in love with you. You have to make sure that they're not more in love with the idea of marriage than they actually are in love with you. You want to marry a woman who loves you, who just thinks you're great, who thinks you're smart even though you're not that smart, who thinks that you got it together even though you really don't have it all that together, who's ride or die, who's down with you, who just feels like, yo, you're great. Because I've counseled couples where the woman wants to be married so bad, she ends up marrying a guy, and then after a while, the shine is off of that marriage. And now she actually has issues with the dude because the dude isn't quite what she was believing for this dude to be. And it's like now she's trying to push a dude who's a good, strong, solid, blue-collar dude to go get his master's or something. And if you wanted to do with a master's, then you should have got one in the first place. And you needed to ask yourself, did that dude who has a master's want you? But I'm saying all that to say that it is possible to like the idea of it more than the actual person. And I think guys in particular need to be careful about that. And I think that there are ways that you can see if she really loves you or if she just loves the idea of being married, because it's going to make her look good. She wants to share she wants everybody to be like, oh my God, you're married, versus her just being like, yo, I just really, really love this guy. Which is really kind of crazy. It gets kind of crazy because in a way, it used to be kind of the exact opposite. This used to be something that I used to have to warn women about, in which I used to have to say to a woman, yo, you really want to make sure this dude really loves you. because guys have a tendency to just be getting all these other things in marriage, and they may not really love you, and you want to feel like you really are loved and really are cherished and really are seen as an individual person that's very, very important and not just a means to an end, and make sure a guy really loves you. The thing that's kind of interesting now is that, and some of it just has to do with the way that the world is shaped and the culture and all of it, is that quite honestly, a guy can get all of the today, a man can get all of the benefits of marriage without actually having to make the commitment. So I think more guys are getting married because they actually love the girl, because they don't have to get married to get the benefits of marriage anymore. There was a time when the only way to get those benefits was to actually get a wife. And so you weren't sure, did he love you or did he love all the benefits? Whereas now, since you all have, some of you, not all of you, but since all of the standards have been removed, and so now guys are getting all kinds of milk from all kinds of cows. A woman will sleep with them, a woman will live with them, a woman will cook for them, a woman will... I was watching, my daughter watches some kind of, I don't know the name of the show, some dating show in which it's almost like two people see each other for the very first time. I should ask her what it's called. Two people see each other for the very first time, and then they're asked, would you date this person? It's like some kind of online show, Yolanda. Would you date this person? And then they're supposed to write on there if they would date the person or not, like a yes, or yes, I would. And then they make them sit there and have a conversation with each other for a certain amount of time, not knowing each other. And then after the conversation, seeing would they still date each other. And there was a black couple that was on there, and the black couple was talking, and now they both agreed after their conversation that they would go out. So now they're asking the guy, oh, what kind of date would you take her on? And he's talking about, hey, I'd like to take her on a date that's fun, and we're going to do something fun. We're going to eat something crazy. We're going to roller skate. We're going to do something active. We're going to do something different. And that's the kind of thing that we would do. And the people that were like, wow, really cool. And then when they looked at the girl, the black girl sitting there, she said, yeah, but I also can cook. And in my head, I'm like, I hear you. Like, I'm really glad you can cook. That sounds great. But you shouldn't cook for a dude too quick. That's too much benefits. And cooking is at your house. And at your house, if I sit in your house and eat your food and now I'm on your couch watching a movie, now I'm going to want to hit it. It's too quick. Just go on a date. Why are you so easy? I sat there, it was just like, girl, you just met. Why are you talking about cooking? You just met this dude. Y'all don't know each other. Let him take you out on a date. Go to Cheesecake Factory. Let him spend some money on you. Why are you so cheap? Why are you so quick to cook? Why are you so quick to have somebody at the house? Go out. Make him earn it. Lord Jesus. Anyway, it's sad to me, not just how cheapened black women have become, but how you all have allowed yourself to be treated as if you're not valuable. You don't fight against the way that you are depicted in the media, and you guys are. I know you don't like to think of yourself as. I don't want to think you think it was a commodity, or I know people start getting nervous when I start talking about cars and all of it, but you have got to value yourself higher than this. You've got to be angry about the way that you're depicted. You all should be writing letters. If homosexual people were depicted in the media the way that black women are depicted in the media, it would be a war that was going on. They would not stand for it. They would not stand for it. They would not play that. And y'all are just letting Real Wives of Hollywood or Real Wives of Atlanta or Real Wives, it's like you are letting the most loud, the most out of control, the most ghetto, the most immature women depict you. And it's making everybody think that y'all are all like that. That you're all immature, that you all are all popping off, that all of you have an attitude problem, that all of you have something to say, that all of you can't shut up, that all of you always got something, that all of you are going to be mad, that all of you are jealous, that all of you will fight. Like, I will fight that chick. It's a horrible thing that has happened to you. And it has devalued you in the world. And it's why 75% of you are not married. And you need to join together and band together and make a union. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to go on strike and say, no, we refuse to be depicted as eternally having an attitude. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I mean, I guess it's a nice title, but it created a depiction and it's created an image that's not fair. And just like I, as an African-American man, do not want to be depicted as kind of thug-like if I was an African-American woman, and I'm not, but I would not want to be depicted as a little bit of attitude. It's not what I would want. We had a black president and we had a first lady who never rolled her eyes, not once. Whatever, Barack. It never happened, not one time. And still, we will sit there, y'all will watch that show. You give it ratings. It's the only reason why it's on is because you watch it, because you think it's funny. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's amusing. I don't think it's flattering. I think it's insulting. I'm insulted. I really am. I'm bothered by the way that we're depicted. It's not helping us forward, it's taking us back. Is this what Dr. Martin Luther King marched and died for? We have to do better. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
To the east, my brother, to the east.
So, based off of what you were saying, there was a question in here that I saw that had to do with social media and the image. And I'm looking for it.
Sure.
What's your opinion on relationships and social media about men/women who constantly lust and men/women who do not post their significant other in social media?
Sure. I mean, I think the whole social media, the whole internet has really had a significant impact on relationships. I mean, in a sense, as a guy, it's almost easier. If you see somebody you like, you can find them on Instagram, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right, Justin? You can find them on Instagram and you can follow them. Can you send them a message before you follow them, or you have to follow them before you can send them a message? All right. All right. So it depends on what their settings are. But I could find you, follow you. Quite honestly, if I was a single woman, and I'm not, but if I was a single woman, I would not have my Instagram private. I wouldn't. And I wouldn't have any pictures on there that weren't flattering either. You got a picture on there and your friends comment like, "Ooh, girl, you look tired." Take that picture down. Because if I see you and I think you're cute, then I'm going to go look at your Instagram and try to see you in different ways and see what you look like when you're at your work and see what you look like when I might want to see what you look like on there without no makeup on. Okay, you might want to put a picture on there where you don't have any makeup on. That doesn't mean you don't have any lotion on your face, but put something on your face. I want to see what you look like natural. Because I'm trying to see you in these different iterations. And if you're afraid of somebody seeing your pictures, what's the logic behind making it private? Why do women do that, Yolanda? Why do women be like, "Oh, I'm going to make my Instagram private"? What are they scared somebody's going to, what do they think is going to happen?
Because some women have had like experience with people saying like inappropriately comments.
Creeps.
Creepers. Yeah. People be saying little stuff and putting stuff on there. I get it. I guess my point is just, if I see you and I'm like, "Oh, she's cute," and I look you up, and all I can see is that little bitty picture up there in the corner, and everything else is blocked. Now I gotta follow you and now you gotta, I mean, I guess I get it. But anyway, my point is that I think that those kinds of things have made it easier for people to connect with one another. And I read an article that said 1 in 3 couples is meeting through some kind of internet access portal at this point, whether it's Match or whatever, Christian Mingle or Black People Together or Farmers and Trucks or whatever the heck it is. People are meeting through social media and through the internet now. It's happening a lot. I don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as it's not just for booty calls. You gotta, listen, you may genuinely really get to know somebody and really make a connection, and that's a great thing. I think you have to be careful about that. I think if somebody is got a social media account and you don't never see their significant other on it, that is suspect to me. It's either a sign that A, they don't like the person, or B, they're ashamed of the person. I'm gonna add a C. Or C, they're trying to come off like they don't have anybody because they're trying to keep their options open. You got a man, you need to put a picture of you and him on Instagram. And if he's like, I don't want my picture with you on Instagram, that should throw up a red flag for you. You should be like, what? Why not? Why can't I tag you? Why can't I put us on there together and tag you that you're my man? Wait. What exactly are you saying? If you're saying to your girl, hey, yeah, let's take a picture together and I'm going to post it on Instagram and we're going to share it. And she's like, no, okay. Then you need to know why. When it comes to the whole lust part of it, because there was a whole thing that was a lust part of it in there, and I think that that's directed at guys. Let's just say this. Guys, all humans have lust issues. Ooh, this right here is going to be controversial. All humans have lust issues because the word lust just simply means strong desire. So if you have a strong desire for Oreo cookies, you have a lust problem. If you have a strong desire for banana pudding, woo, I felt the anointing. You have a lust issue. You desire banana pudding. Some of you desire banana pudding so much that it makes you not fit your clothes. So we all have lust issues. Men are moved by sight. It's just a fact. It's not to say that women aren't moved by sight, but women aren't moved by sight the way men are moved by sight. Women are deep. Women are deeper than men. Men are moved by sight. It doesn't mean it should be the only thing that rules. It doesn't mean it should be the only thing that's determining. It doesn't mean it should be the only thing that we're thinking about. That is not the case. I hear you. I get you, girl. I feel you. At the same time, there's a ditch on either side of the road. I said this last week. A dude can't only be about how you look. That's a ditch. He also is never going to not be about how you look. Can't roll around looking like a bag of trash and then be upset if you're not being taken out. See, that's because you're so shallow. Well, I hear you, but let's find the balance. Yes, you want to be valued for your mind. You got it. Yes, you want to be valued for your strength and your gifting. I hear you, girl. Yes, you want to be valued for your personality. You are dead on right. I got you. No doubt about it. When I'm talking to my sons, I need to copyright this before I say it, but when I'm talking to my sons, I said to my sons and all these young dudes that are around me that are single, I said to these dudes, there are 7 qualities. I don't even know if I should really say this, but there are 7 qualities that I said to my sons that you need to look for in a woman. And the first 4 to me are non-negotiable. The first 4 are sweet, saved, smart, skilled. Sweet, saved, smart, skilled. Sweet doesn't even necessarily mean, oh, she's so sweet, because she could be sweet, but she doesn't necessarily have to be super sweet as long as she's sweet to you. It doesn't make any sense for a dude to be in an eternal relationship with someone who's mean to them. That just doesn't make any sense. She ought to at least be sweet to you. Sweet, saved, loves God, goes to church, in love with Jesus. We'll go if you don't go. We'll pray for you. Saved. Smart. Oh my Lord, there's nothing worse than a dumb woman. Smart, intelligent, thoughtful. If you connect her brain to a light bulb, it ought to be able to glow more than 20 watts. Smart. You need a smart woman. If she's smarter than you, awesome. You should never be intimidated by an intelligent woman. I'm not. My wife is smart. She's got a smart wit. She's quick. She's got her mouth. She got stuff to say. It just don't come nigh me. Sweet, saved, smart, skilled. She's got some skills. She's got some stuff she can do besides just put a tight dress on. And you see those skills. Maybe she can cook a little bit. She can do this a little bit. She's got these skills. She is skilled sexually. She ain't just going to lay there. She knows how to work the equipment. She has some skills. Sweet, smart, saved, skilled. Then the last three really are a looks thing. And it really is in the eye of the beholder. Face, hair, body. Face, hair, body. You may get somebody with a really pretty face, and her hair may be okay, and her body may be okay, but her face is so cute that you're just like, listen, her face is dope. You may get somebody whose body is so Jesus that you're just like, her face is a cute face. It's okay face, but who cares? Or her hair may be so incredible. Oh my God, this girl's hair, and it's so amazing. And you may get pieces of one and parts of the other. And part of the challenge of this world is that there are dudes who are trying to get hair, face, and body. Okay? They want somebody that's got all three of those. And the challenge is that I don't see a lot of women that have hair, face, and body and are sweet, saved, smart, skilled. Sometimes the hair, face, body chicks will cuss you out. So anyway, why was I talking about that? How did I get on that? I guess I was talking about lust. Thank you, Justin. Somebody's paying attention. So I guess what I'm saying is that guys are interested in hair, face, body. They are. Now, it doesn't mean that sweet, saved, smart, skilled. I can add more S's, sensitive and sharp and sexy and solid and super. Sure, I can keep going with it. I'm not saying those things aren't important, but what I'm saying is, girl, when you look at yourself, if you want a man, then you better have some hair, or you better have your face together, or you better get your bot. You better be doing some squats, because a man is going to have some kind of physical expectation. A man is going to have some kind of physical expectation. And you can call it lust if you want to, but you're going to end up by yourself. If you think men have a lust problem, you are going to be alone. Ooh, this is so horrible. I'm just talking daddy. You're going to be by yourself. Last night I was sitting down with a couple that I'm getting ready to marry. Really great couple. Great couple. I'm marrying them in a couple of weeks. And they're sitting here in my office. I'm having a conversation with them about their wedding. And She said to me, we have been celibate. We've been celibate. We've never been intimate with one another. Now, they're in their 30s. She's like 32. He's around that same age. At this point right now as a pastor, sorry, but this is rare air for Pastor Andy. It's just not the norm. Where I'm getting ready to marry a couple that has not been intimate with each other. I'm always like, oh, this is great. The reception's gonna have a whole different feel to it. It's gonna be like, let's cut this cake. Ain't nobody gonna be out dancing electric slide till 2 a.m. Whenever you go to a wedding like that, them people have been tapping it for so long. They ain't living together. Ain't nothing special about that night. That night's just one other night. They're all there getting drunk and hanging out, and you're looking at her like, girl, you are doing so much dancing, you're not going to have no energy for later on. It's because it don't matter, because they've been tapping that thing for years, and it don't matter. Whereas when you're with a couple who they have never had sex with each other, it's kind of like, okay, let's cut this cake. Okay, where's my mother? Dance. The dance with the mother is a quick dance. It ain't no slow dance. It's a spin by. Let's go. That dude is trying to get out. So anyway, when she said to me, we've been celibate, Pastor Annie, we have not been intimate with each other, I was like, wow. I said to her, wow, sweetheart, that is great. I said to him, son, I'm so proud of you. You're to be commended. That is wonderful, dude. Awesome. Hallelujah. Praise God. Somebody's trying to walk a little bit of holiness. Then I looked at her and I said, sweetheart, here's the thing. You don't really know this dude. Now you know him, but you don't really know him. You about to get to know a side of him that you don't know right now. Because he got a monster under there trying to get out. He's got a monster. He's got a sex desire monster in his basement locked up in a cage that he is trying to keep from destroying his whole life. And what you are going to be is you're going to be the thing that he takes down, and he's holding you, and he's going down there, down to the basement, and that monster's in there, and he's just going to be like, okay, and he's going to lay you down in front of that monster, and he's going to say to the monster, now look, I really care about this person. This is my wife. This ain't some chick I done brought home from the strip club. This is my wife now. Okay? You can bite her, but don't eat her. And if you are a woman and you ain't ready for that, you are not ready for a husband, you're not ready for a man, you ain't ready for it. Lust problem. You're not ready for a man. Whew, geez, Morgan, what is wrong with me today? This is only the second one. Talking about third degree.
Rolling. Taking it mighty literally. So, you've spoken this one before, and this is more of a statement, but I know that you have some feelings about this. So, we had one person say, "I'm not looking for a man. I'm looking for my degree first." Like, what? Is there balance between the two?
I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth, man. The sad thing, listen, I've got daughters. My oldest daughter's married to a really great guy. My second daughter, my daughter, she's right now, she's the flyest little thing, but she's single. And, she's being asked out. And she's been dating. But the truth of the matter is that the state of affairs for the African-American woman is of such that a degree is something that is more attainable than a good guy. And I mean, that's just sad. I mean, we're talking about between black men who are in prison, black men who are killed, black men who are gay, black men who are playing. You meet a good guy, it's diamonds and pearls. When I say diamonds and pearls, I mean that the quality pearl is rare. If you're a quality woman, you are rare. But you can get a string of diamonds, a string of pearls for one diamond. Please don't make that think that I think that valuable quality women are not rare. I think they are rare. Real pearls are rare. But I think that a quality guy is more rare than a quality woman. And so for a woman to say, I'm going to live my life with the expectation of a quality guy to really be this thing I really need and build my life around. I totally get it. How women can be like, yeah, I'm going to get my degree. I totally get that. And I'm saddened by it. I'm saddened by the state of affairs in America. I'm saddened by the continued lack of equality in the judicial system. I'm saddened by the fact that African American men are a target. I'm also saddened by the fact that for whatever reason, we want to have 9 babies from 9 different women. I don't know what is wrong with us. I don't know. And so all of those things are a factor in women saying, yeah, you know, I'm just going to get my degree. I mean, if nothing else, I'm going to make sure I can take care of myself. I totally understand that. And I think that that is how you should be until the right dude comes along. And if the right dude rolls through, and he is what you have been looking, praying, believing for, then you need to pull your pencil out and erase some of your stuff you have in there, because a quality dude is harder to get than your degree. So the harder thing should take precedence. If the right dude rolls through, don't let him get away because you got to get your PhD first. You're not smart. That's not smart. Now, hey, the knuckleheads, the dudes that are just trying to hit it, the guys that are just trying to date you, the dudes that aren't serious, the guys that are whatever, I hear you. You got it. I'm all with it. Let those dudes walk. Get your masters, girl. I feel you. But if the right dude rolls through and is serious about you, you are a fool to let that guy go over a degree that you can get at another time. It's not a smart thing to do. It's Barry Bonds. It's Barry Bonds. Now, I've given this analogy before, but it bears repeating. If you're a black woman in America, you are Barry Bonds when it comes to men. Barry Bonds hit more home runs than anybody else. I know this whole steroid scandal, but the man hit more home runs than anybody else. Barry Bonds hit more home runs than anyone. Here's the other thing about Barry Bonds. He walked more than anyone. What that means is a walk is when they throw 4 balls outside of the strike zone and you get to walk to first base. Not only is he the leader in home runs, but he's the leader in walks. Now, what that means is that pitchers were afraid to throw pitches down the strike zone because if they did, then Barry Bonds will hit a home run. That also means that when he was up at bat, he saw a lot of crap pitches. Let's say he stands up to bat, he sees 15 pitches, maybe one of those pitches is good. And if he got a good pitch, he knocked it out the park. He's the leader in home runs, but he's also the leader in getting the most crap pitches thrown at him. And what I'm saying is, if you're even going to get in the batter's box, if you have an attitude that says, I am not even thinking about no man, I'm thinking about my degree, then don't even get in the batter's box. Don't even date. Don't dress nice. Don't wear no makeup. Don't do your hair. Shave your head like Sanaa Lathan or whatever and just put a bag on your head and go to school. Don't get asked out. If you are going to step in this batter's box, then get in there to try to get a hit. I'm not trying to get you to swing at no crap pitches, But you're not going to get but so many good pitches to hit. And if a pitch comes down dead in the center, and the dude has got the edge, the smarts, the gut, the save, the blah, 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 all the qualities, the stuff you're looking for. And I know I gave these 7 things looking for a woman. I asked my wife and my daughters to give me 7 things for a guy. It ended up being 70 things. I couldn't even get it down to 7. It was so much that I just was like, Jesus Christ, oh my God, this is a human we're talking about, you know. If the guy comes in who is strong and still sensitive, sweet, but still loving, got money, but doesn't care about it, wants to be with you when you're made up, still wants to be with you with your scarf on. If that dude rolls through and you're like, wow, this dude really cares about me, you are a fool to let that dude go because you're going to go to Harvard. You're a fool. And you're going to end up 34 by yourself thinking about the one that got away. Now, maybe you won't care. And I feel you. I get it. You don't care? Okay. Cool. Because the truth of the matter is that there's not a good chance of you getting anybody anyway. You got a 25% chance. And I don't really need anybody in the 25 percentile that don't deserve to be there. We got too much at stake. Black marriages are in too much trouble. And I don't need any black women who aren't going to be good wives. We don't need that. Y'all's reputation is already so bad. Y'all don't need any more black stank wives. You don't. So, anyway, all right. I guess that's the answer to that. We got 5 more minutes. Ooh, this has been...
So, this is a question from a gentleman.
Oh, yes, a dude. All right.
I've been with the other lady for almost 5 years now. We have a 2-year-old daughter. My question is, can I give her a price on anything, but she doesn't listen to me. She goes to her father, who is a pastor, and she takes his advice. Most of the time it's wrong. Don't get me wrong. I have the utmost respect for her father, but can you tell me why she never listens to anything I say or never takes any advice unless it's coming from her father? What should I do?
Okay, first of all, never is a strong word. I think one of the worst words to use is always and never. I don't think she never takes any of your advice or never listens to you. It sounded from the question that he's saying it's his girl, right? Like,
yes.
It doesn't sound like they're married to me.
It does not sound.
It sounds like this is his girl.
Yeah.
And 5 years with a girl, with a kid, this might be why you haven't married her yet. Because men are looking for respect and women are looking for love. And it's not to say that women don't want to be respected, and it's not to say that men don't want to be loved. But men are viewing it about respect and women are viewing it about love. And right now you feel disrespected. You feel like, you know, she don't respect you. She don't see things the way that you see it, or she's taking more advice from her father than she's taking it from you, and that's a real problem for you. And you need to voice that to her. You need to say to her, you know, you don't really listen to anything that I say. And if it's that much of a deal breaker for you, then you should not be with her. Because it's not going to go away. Now, maybe she don't listen to you because you're not really all that committed to her. Maybe she feels more of a commitment from her father than she feels from you. Maybe she ain't really trying to change her life for you because you haven't married her. And maybe the problem and the challenge, is that my phone? Mm-hmm. Maybe the challenge and the problem is that you're not all the way committed. You're not all the way in. And she's been waiting for you to all the way commit. And there's only but so much that she's going to change for somebody that's not all the way committed. And I totally get that. The problem is that you guys have been together too long. That's the real problem. 5 years is a long time. And if you've been waiting for her to show you more respect in these 5 years and she hasn't done it yet, then she ain't gonna do it. And if she's been waiting for you to marry her for 5 years and you still ain't married her yet, you don't sound like you're gonna marry her. And if I was a woman, and I'm not, and I know I've been saying it all day, but I said it last week and I'll say it again, I would not date a man for no 5 years. That's crazy. That's nuts. I would tell a dude, you got 18 months to kind of figure out what exactly you're gonna do. I'm not looking for no friends. I'm not looking for no long term. You got 18 months. I don't have time to waste. There's an expiration date on this thing. Y'all mean business. No, we're not going to be together no 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, open-ended, I don't know what, 18 months. You ought to know. Especially if y'all trying to be safe. Now, I totally understand maybe somebody's not a Christian asking this question. Y'all trying to be saved. 18 months is a long time. You ought to know in 9 months. Within 9 to 12 months, you ought to know if you want to spend the rest of your life with this person. And then after that, it should take you long enough to plan a wedding. 6 to 9 months. That's about the most it should take. And if you're waiting for things to change, oh, well, I've been with her for a year. Oh, I've been with him a year, but he drinks. And I don't want him to drink, so I'm not going to marry him till he stops drinking. You need to let that dude go. No, I mean, I really love her, you know what I'm saying? But she just got an attitude. And sometimes, man, you know, she just gets mad. She cuts me out. You know, I'm just trying to wait for that to get better. Well, that ain't never going to get better. That ain't never going to get better. And the reason why there's so many people that are divorced is because they got married thinking it was going to get better, and it didn't get better, it got worse. So 5 years is a long time. And if you've been in a relationship with a woman for 5 years and she listens to her father more than she listens to you, maybe he is smarter than you. Maybe he knows something you're saying his advice ain't even good. You're saying it's bad advice. Okay? That's what you're saying. Now, I'm Pastor Andy Thompson, whatever the heck that means. Okay? I'm a relationship expert. I've written books on relationships, and my oldest girl, who's the daddy's girl, is married to a really great dude, and she don't listen to me more than she listens to him. Are you crazy? This is not even smart. And I'm smarter than that dude. I mean, I don't know about that. But I think I'm smarter than him. She listens to me, but she don't listen to me more than she listens to him. That's not smart to do. And I give good advice. If this girl's father gives bad advice, and she listens to him more than she listens to you, then why are you with her? And if you weren't sleeping with her, you probably wouldn't be with her. This is why I tell dudes to be chaste. Chaste. C-H-A-S-T-E. Chaste. It died?
Just stop. Hold on.
Oh. Something's trying to knock y'all off. This is why I try to tell everyone to be chaste. Guys, be chaste. Of course, I want women to be chaste. Chaste. Give me that. Give me the piece of paper. I need to make sure. This is a SAT word. Chaste. Can you see that? Chaste. Chaste. C-H-A-S-T-E. Chaste. It's where the word Chastity comes from chastity. Chaste. You see it? Chaste. Okay, not chased, running from somebody being chased. Chaste. Chaste. Can you see it, Morgan?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Chaste. Reason why I say to guys, I'm trying to get men and women to be chaste. Chaste. I'm trying to get men and women to be chaste for different reasons. I want women to be chaste because you don't want everybody to have carnal knowledge of you. That's crazy. How many dudes have carnal knowledge of you? Don't you want something special with the dude who you actually are going to be with forever? You want to be bumping into dudes who know what you sound like when you're feeling good? You need to save a part of yourself because it's your power and it's special. Chaste. The reason why I want guys to be chaste is so that you can make a good choice. It's hard to make a good choice when you're not chaste. Number one, because of our lust problem, the sex can be so good that it makes you overlook other things that are bothering you. So now you can't make a good choice because you're blinded by the sex. Number two, unless you're just a wicked, evil, callous dude, as a result of being with a woman physically for a certain amount of time, she gets in your soul and you start feeling obligated. Unless you're just evil, right now, the dude that asked that question, you're thinking, how can I walk away from this chick when I've been hitting it for 5 years and I got a kid with her? So the reason why you're torn is because you have not been chaste. So if you had been chaste, then you could say, this chick never listens to me. She only listens to her father. I don't want to be with her. And you could walk away from her and feel all right. You wouldn't feel like you dogged her out. You wouldn't feel like you wasted her life. You wouldn't feel like you took all her time. You wouldn't have a kid with her. And you wouldn't be obligated to be with someone who at their core, disrespects you. At least you feel disrespected. I don't know them. I'm not in the situation. I'm a neutral person. I have no idea. I'm sure if she was on there, she'd be like, I don't disrespect him. I listen to him. He don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what she would say. But all I'm saying is that you feel disrespected. And part of the reason why you're in a relationship with a person that makes you feel disrespected is because you haven't been chaste. So I never slept with anybody who made me feel disrespected. And if someone was dissing me, then I would not sleep with them. Ever. And if I was sleeping with them and then they started dissing me, I would stop. First of all, I shouldn't have been sleeping with them in the first place because it ain't right. And maybe the reason why they're dissing me is because this is God trying to get me to stop sleeping with somebody that I should not be sleeping with. You're Jonah and there's a storm. You're not on your way to Nineveh and you're upset that there's a storm. Realize maybe you're going in the wrong direction. You have not been chaste. And so now you are in a relationship with a woman that you feel disrespected by, and that's not going to work. I'm telling you now, that's not going to work. It ain't going to get nothing but worse. So I guess that's my answer. My answer is, yeah, you got a serious decision to make. And you need to start figuring out what you're going to have to give in child support, what you're going to have to pay for this kid, what you got to figure that out. You're going to have to slowly disconnect yourself. You are so connected. You're going to have to start thinking about how are you going to take your world, how are you going to disconnect your world from her world? I'm sure y'all, all this stuff together, y'all probably live together. You're going to have to start figuring that out because no booty is worth disrespect. And that cuts both ways. I'm amazed at what women put up with from men. And a part of it is that you're not chaste. You're not chaste. You let a guy in your body, he gets under your skin. Now you got a soul tie to someone that you're not even really sure how they feel about you. And they're not faithful. And they're abusive. They're verbally abusive. They're emotionally abusive. And y'all are amazing. Y'all will be more committed to a knucklehead dude than you are to a church. I'm blown away. 2 years with a dude. I was talking to a young, 2 years with a dude who cheated, who was abusive. 2 years of your life. Why? Because you have not been chaste. C-H-A-S-T-E, chaste. He got in your body, he got under your skin, he got in your soul. Now you got a connection to a dude who, if he comes back and says, I'm sorry, you're just like, okay, sorry. That's because you're sleeping with him. If you had never slept with him, you'd have been like, yeah, you are sorry, bye. There's a reason why God told us, yeah, don't fornicate. I know I'm going ready to get old school in holiness, but a part of the reason why the Lord told us to do it is because it's not smart. It's not the right way to do it. It's not a smart way to put the cake together. First things first. And you want to make sure that you have that connection and that love and that commitment and friendship and all of those things. I said it last week. I'm saying it again this week, Yolanda. Women need to have a standard. The state fair is happening here in North Carolina right now. You go to the state fair, when you go there, there's a little hand that's red that's like this. You have to be that tall to ride that ride. And they'll take your little kid over there and stand him up, and they'll say to him, sorry, you're too small to get on this ride. Every woman that sees this, watches this, spreads it around. All of you need to have a look. Y'all need to walk around with one of them little things, Yolanda, with a little hand there, and you need to hold it up to that dude and see, is he tall enough to get on your ride? And you need to be like, no, I'm sorry, you're not tall enough to get on my ride. You're not saved enough. You're not smart enough. You're not caring enough. You're not thoughtful enough. You're not committed enough. You're not connected to me enough. There's no way you're getting on my ride. No. And it's a ride, buddy. Oh, let me tell you. But it's going to take tickets. Ain't no armband where you can ride. To get that armband, let me tell you what you got to do. Be with me for a year. Be with me for a year and a half. Stand me up in front of all my people. I will walk down this aisle in a white dress. Dude, let me tell you what. I will give you an armband, and you will be able to come in this park whenever you want and ride this ride. You'll be able to get off, get right back in line, and get right back on these bumper cars, and get off and get right back in line and get right back on these bumper cars. You ride this ride all you want. You'll never have tickets ever again. But there is a standard that you're going to have to meet. And there's just too many of you that have just opened up your parks. And now y'all got bums on rides. And y'all, there's stuff falling out and the seats stink because you let hobos on your ride. It's ridiculous. It's a sad state of affairs, especially amongst African American people. All right,
so I know we're done. We did get one comment that I don't know if you want to, wish this lady. She said you were talking about the dating apps, and I don't know, it really spoke to her. She was like, I got scammed by ChristianMingle.com. I don't know if you want to, give this lady a well wish, maybe get back up and try again.
Listen. What I'm saying is the only way to really get scammed is if you're not going to be chased. If you can be talked into the bed, then anything can get you tricked. It's not just the social media stuff. Some dude that somebody introduces you to. I was having a conversation with a young woman that goes to the church, and I've been trying to give her some good fatherly advice. She's probably watching this right now. She's so afraid of being hurt again. And I'm like, kid, I hear you. I totally get it, because there's some dudes out there that ain't right. But here's the thing. It's easy to not really get hurt again. Just don't let nobody else in. They can come in the restaurant, but they cannot get in the kitchen. They can take you out. They can date you. They can bring you they can have conversations with you. You'll talk with them on the phone all night. You will kiss them. They'll be able to pull you close. Maybe touch your booty. Maybe. And even that is after you are feeling like, whoa, okay, we've been in this thing for a minute. But don't go grabbing on my backside, date 3. This ain't that kind of show. You will not get hurt if you keep yourself chaste. Y'all get hurt because you're too easy. You're too easy. You keep yourself chaste, you'll be valuable. And I'm telling you right now, hear me now, believe me later. I know this like I know my name. You want a husband? You want a husband? No, you just want a man, you can have a man. You want a husband? Get some chastity. Get some chastity. Get some chastity. You'll be respectable. And a dude, you'll be so different that a dude will be like, yeah, man, I met this girl, man. She's saving it. Like, yeah. She's totally different. I mean, oh my God, she's totally different from any other chick I've dated, man. It's just, she told me up front, I'm saved, I love the Lord. Listen, dude, let me tell you what, this is a hell of a ride, but you ain't getting on it. Not till you get that armband. You will be totally different. You'll be treated differently. You'll be respected more. And you probably will end up with a husband. You will weed out all of the dudes with the lust problem. You'll weed all those dudes out. I mean, you're still going to end up with a dude that's got lust. And hopefully he does have lust. Because love without lust. I was trying to come up with something. Love without lust. I was trying to come up with another L, so I can't. Love without lust, it's just, I've been with LaShawn for 30 years, married 27 years. I've been married to her for 27 years. I've been with her for 30 years. And I love that girl, but I definitely have lust for her. No doubt about it. Make no mistake about it. Don't get it twisted. It's as spiritual as it needs to be, and it's as carnal as it needs to be, and it's carnal. Anybody that tells you otherwise is not telling you the truth. All right. This was great. So, next Thursday,
You're in Israel, aren't you?
I'm going to be in Israel.
Yeah, aren't you?
So, yeah.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm saying is, we just don't want to do it at all.
I mean, unless you want to try to do it from Israel.
Where's my phone? I thought it was ringing and you ran off with it. Oh, that was my iPad. Look inside my office. Only reason I'm asking is because what time is it in Israel right now?
I wasn't prepared for this question.
Huh?
It is 7:46 p.m. So it'd be, you would have to start at 6:30 p.m.
It's 6:30. Let's just play it by ear. Listen, if we're gonna do this live Q&A next Thursday, we will, for live on location from Israel, we will definitely let you know. I would like to try to do it. There certainly will be people around that could kind of help me do it. People got enough phones, and so I think we're going to try it. We'll let you know. But this was great. I'm having a blast. And if you have questions, you can go ahead and start sending them in. We'd love to hear them. If you have comments, those are good too. If you're mad, keep it to yourself. Don't get blocked. Don't get yourself blocked. Okay. Merry Christmas.